started incredibly fast and built up a lead that Bolt either couldn't or chose not to claw back over the remaining 60 metres or so. Coleman had a devastating start in his semi-final a couple of hours ago. Took a metre and a half out of the whole field after about 15. And if he does that again, he'll be hard to catch. But I think Bolt is aware now, at least, Chris, and might not allow the American quite so much room for manoeuvre before halfway.
I think to the answer to your question, either couldn't or chose not to go with him in the semi-final. I think it's the latter. I think Bolt had plenty in reserve. He was shutting down 10 to 15 metres at least before the end. I think there's plenty more to come from Bolt. But I think it's all in the start. How much pressure will Bolt be under? If Coleman gets away, he's one of the best starters certainly this year, and Bolt, we have to be honest, has been one of the worst. He's really had very, very shabby starts in most of the races we've seen him in this year, but of course he finishes so well.
Well, do you know what, I was reading an article the other day that was saying that actually when the analysis is done, Bolt's 2008 performance in Beijing, he had a very good start. When he starts well, his start is very good. It's just not as consistent as the Gatlins and Blakes, and indeed the Colemans. It would be a huge shock, and to a degree an anticlimax if Bolt were beaten here tonight. Whoever were to beat him would instantly become a household name. But Usain Bolt, I don't think, is in losing mood. He's been very, very boisterous and confident in recent days, with all pronouncements that he will win here. In 2014, of course, he went up to Scotland and just participated in the relay, taking gold for Jamaica. He has that to come yet for his nation in a few days' time. But there is the full lineup for this men's 100 metres final. Su Bingtian of China, Jimmy Vico of France, Usain Bolt of Jamaica, Coleman of the USA, South Africa's Simbine, Blake of Jamaica, Gatlin of the USA, and Prescott of Great Britain. Just two Europeans in this race, Jimmy Vico and Reece Prescott. What a weekend Reece Prescott has had. Absolutely fantastic for this young man to have made the final of the World Championship. CJ Uja missing out by just a couple of hundredths of a second will be a frustrated spectator of this one. But let's take a closer look at these 8 men. Chinese record holder at 100 metres, Su Bingtian, 27 years old, short, compact, powerful, will start well, but I'm sure he'll get run down by several in this field. Jimmy Vico, on his day, a fabulous performer, has had his fair share of injuries, as Vico, semi-finalist on this track in London 2012. There is Bolt, the defending champion, the reigning champion. Can he be denied? 9.97 in his semi-final was the time by Coleman. Bolt ran 9.98, his second best time of the season. Christian Coleman could be a real threat here if he can start and put the different sections of the race together well. He is the world #1, let's not forget, with 9.82. Simbine of South Africa, fabulous in his semi-final, 9.92 this year, quicker than Bolt has run this season. Johan Blake there, saying a quick prayer. The 27-year-old seems like he's been around a long, long time. He won this title back in 2011 in the absence of Bolt after a full start by his bigger teammate. And Justin Gatlin there in lane 8, yet again getting that boo. Every time he appears on the big screens as introduced to the crowd, he gets booed, as Reece Prescott gets the exact opposite reception there. Only 21 years old, the massive Briton. Martin equating him to Linford Christie in build earlier, and the way he runs, he's about 6'4", he's a huge fella, and he finishes well too, rather like one Usain Bolt, but just not quite as quick over the first half of the race. So the blue ribbon event of any major championships. Who will be the world's quickest man of 2017 in a minute or so's time? Su Bingtian of China in 2, Jimmy Vico in 3, Bolt goes in 4, alongside him the real threat, the world #1, Christian Coleman of the USA in 5, Simbine of South Africa 6, Blake of Jamaica 7, Gatlin in lane 8, second to left, and Prescott of Britain in lane 9. Away they go again, a really good start from Coleman. Bolt is chasing hard. Is he going to get back to him, or is he not? Coleman is leading at the moment. Blake's coming, but is he going to run out of track, or is he going to get there? I think he's been beaten. I think Coleman took it. There was not the usual surge from Bolt over the last 20 metres or so, and I do believe very, very tight indeed that it was. I think Bolt's been imagine a scenario where Gatlin comes out and beats Usain Bolt, but he has 9.92 by the American champion to take gold. How ironic is that? And the crowd will have to swallow that one, I'm afraid. They've booed him through yesterday and today every time his name is mentioned or he's appeared on screen. But Gatlin's turned back those challenges. Indeed, he's fed off it. He's fed off that ire from the crowd. And Bolt has been beaten. Goodness me, Gatlin 9.92, Coleman 9.94. It's a 1-2 for the USA, ironically, and Bolt 9.95 in third. But at the age, Justin Gatlin there, of 35, he has beaten Bolt. I cannot believe it.
And I think I'm right in saying that is Bolt's first ever global bronze medal.
I think you're right. I think you're right. Goodness me, he didn't get a great start. His start was poor. Coleman's brilliant. Gatlin was strong throughout. Johan Blake finished in fourth, only a click behind Usain Bolt. The first four going under 10 seconds. But we shouldn't really read too much into this. The man is a living legend. He has been quite astonishing for the sport in track and field and athletics. And if indeed, Chris, this is his last ever individual race, I suppose in a way there's a sort of symmetry to his losing this, even though it was 5 years ago tonight that he took gold at London 2012. Bolt said he wanted to retire after this, and maybe he's got the timing right. Well, Usain Bolt will remain the crowd's favourite. There may be a goal to come in the sprint relay. But the American 1-2 from Sacramento some 6 weeks or so ago. And now the world 1-2. And the unthinkable has been witnessed by some 60,000 people in the crowd tonight. There's a stunned silence to some degree around the arena, Chris. It's utterly bizarre. Contrast to the roaring crescendo of Mo Farah's gold last night. I think there's a vast majority of people in the stadium here would like to have seen a different result here tonight, but one has to give credit to Justin Gatlin, a man who has a murky past to some degree. He's been twice busted for doping. The Americans insisted on one of those occasions it was an offence that was unintentional. I think one has to explain the reason that Gatlin gets booed so much.